What's up, crew? I'm your co-host, Steve Cardy.
And I'm Nick Scopoletti.
And you are tuning into the Strength Squad podcast.
Starring Domestic Don.
Domestic Don. You guys don't want to know about Domestic Don. Yeah, you do. That's my stripper alter ego. Stripper alter ego, Domestic Don.
In case you're wondering.
He made a rare appearance this weekend.
Last weekend.
Where
was it? Yeah.
Those weekends are blending
Super
together.
Bowl!
Yeah, Super Bowl just happened. Cool.
Congrats to the Eagles. Patriots are terrible. Hate them.
Official sponsor of the Strength Squad podcast, the Philadelphia Eagles.
Thank you, Philly. Philly Dilly.
Philly Dilly. Welcome to the show, guys. We're talking about alcohol and lifting today. Before we start, do a little segment we like to call dad jokes. Start this thing off right. So, Nick, what do you call a guy with no shins?
I don't know, Steve.
Neil. And that's our dad joke.
I like
Brought to you by the Philadelphia Eagles.
Love that one so much.
Quick announcements here, guys. As always, make sure you guys go all of our social media. Go like our Facebook page. Go to our Twitter. Follow us on Twitter. Go ahead, follow us on Instagram. Then follow us to our cars. And then make sure you guys go to iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube. Leave us some comments. Leave us a 5-star review. Really helps out the show. But it also helps for us to hear your guys' voice and what you like and don't like and what turns you on and turns you off. We like all that stuff. Also, another announcement here. We want to shout out to our first ever official sponsor, Plant Warrior Protein.
What?
Big shout out to Plant Warrior Protein.
Out of the UK.
Sponsoring our show here. Go to plantwarriorprotein.com.
Right. Use the code STRENGTH10.
Yeah, get that 10%
you
off.
You get 10% off. 10, so they're a plant-based protein company. We've tried it. It's dope, or else we wouldn't have let them sponsor us.
Yeah.
It's good protein, good alternative to some dairy products, some whey and things like that. Also, for every bag bought, they plant a tree. So they're a protein company with a purpose. So it's pretty cool. We're excited for them to be our sponsor.
Yes.
Plant Warrior!
Also, head over to our YouTube channel, guys. We just dropped a new video this week. A pull-up progression / kind of chin-up progression, but mainly pull-up progression video. If you're having trouble with pull-ups, you need some help with some pull-up progressions, skills to work on with pull-ups, go check out that video. It's on our YouTube page. Just dropped this week, so go check that out.
Yeah.
I think it's about that time. We are going to slide into those DMs.
Send some fucking news.
About to send those news, baby. Dr. Nick loves this. Dr. Nick loves sending news.
Does he?
Yeah, he does. Who else told me? Someone else told me they love sending news.
I had a few other people telling me, they're like, that's so funny.
Yeah, they love it. Well, they love the name, but they also love the actual concept. So this week's Send News, guys, is an article by Jade Tita, your fucking boy who you just went to Mexico with. Just you and him alone.
It's completely alone. Just us two.
Article is called The Lifter's Guide to Alcohol, which is actually what our episode today is going to be about, is your training, your strength training, and how alcohol actually affects it. So this article is great. This is kind of what sparked the inspiration for this episode. We're going to talk about a lot what Jade talked about. So we're going to link up the whole article, whole kit and caboodle.
What also
in our show notes, and we'll share it on Facebook and Instagram.
What also sparked the interest for the episode is the fact that I was thinking, like, what should we talk about? And then just being in Philadelphia for the Super Bowl and seeing a lot of drunk people up close, I remember thinking to myself, this would be cool to talk about. Tom Brady.
Fuck Tom Brady, dude. Yeah, so that'll be our Send News, guys. Pay attention to your social media, your Facebook feed. We'll be linking that up this week. It'll be in the show notes too. So if you're watching the video version, go to the show notes. That's what I'm pointing to right now. That's where you can find it.
Down there.
All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to get a quick word from our sponsors.
Oh.
Us and Plant Warrior Protein. And when we come back, we're going to talk about lifting, strength training, and alcohol. Be right back. Want more of the Strength Squad? You can check out all of our social media on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
Also, check us out on YouTube where you can watch all of your favorite Strength Squad videos. Don't forget to leave a 5-star review on iTunes and Stitcher.
Stitcher, I just met her. We would like to thank our friends at Plant Warrior Protein, official sponsor of the Strength Squad podcast. Plant Warrior plant-based protein is easier on your stomach and contains a complete amino acid profile that helps you grow, maintain, and repair your muscles. It gives you 18 grams of protein per serving, and it's made from a blend of rice, pea, and hemp. Plant Warrior pledges to plant one tree for every item you purchase at their online store. Head over to plantwarrior.co, that's plantwarrior.co, and use the promo code STRENGTH10 to get 10% off of your purchase. That's promo code STRENGTH10 for 10% off of any Plant Warrior purchase. All right, everybody, and we are back, and we're here talking about booze. We're talking about alcohol.
Boobs.
Well, I wish. Those are my favorites. Talking about alcohol and how it affects your training, your strength training, and a little bit of body composition as well, how it really affects your body composition. And we're going to lay it all out there, man. The facts, what alcohol is really doing.
Facts.
Maybe some myths that we're going to bust here.
Bust some nuts.
Yeah, we'll totally do that too. So first thing I want to ask is what are some of the biggest like misconceptions about alcohol and training? Like what are some of the biggest like, oh, alcohol does this when actually it's kind of bullshit? Like what are some of the biggest faux pas, if you will?
I think one of the biggest things is people think alcohol, like you drink and it directly, like drinking causes you to gain body fat, like directly. But really what it does is when you ingest alcohol, your body thinks it's a toxin. And it says, okay, we have to stop all the other metabolic processes, burning fat, building muscle, to get this out of the body. So all the other systems you have that are trying to keep your immune system going and build muscle and regenerate tissue, stop when you put alcohol in your body. It's like, all right, we need to get this out of here. I don't know what this is. It's this weird foreign toxin. Let's get it the hell out of here. So I think that was one of the biggest ones, because you think directly I have a beer belly. It's directly
what? A beer belly.
What? So, but really it's just, it stops doing all of those things. So you could get fat from drinking a lot, but it's not directly, you're not just, pouring pounds of body fat on you. It's just, It stops all other metabolic processes.
So it's less about, hey, I'm consuming alcohol, and what's happening is that alcohol is being translated into calories and then storing itself as fat. It's less about that. It's more about alcohol is entering my system. It's kind of fucking my system up. So my system has to stop my other metabolic processes like burning fat for energy, and it has to work on getting the toxins out of your blood.
And also, and we could cover this later too, is, what does alcohol do? Lowers your inhibitions, right?
It'll get you drunk.
Was that Sam Adams?
Samuel
Jackson, right? Chappelle's show. No, but one of the things that I think is really important too is that, it lowers your inhibitions. So any restrictions you have
means,
on
guys.
any restrictions you have on, yes, sexually maybe, but for mostly I'm talking about like food.
I would say definitely.
I would say I'm talking about foods.
Okay.
So we're talking about body fat stuff. So and there's a hierarchy, which is pretty cool. That's highlighted in this article, where like beer, white wine, you don't really tend to eat too much. Red wine makes you eat a little bit more just because of the cortisol it produces. And then mixed drinks with if you mix it with sugary stuff too, just the sugar, and you get hungrier and hungrier and hungrier.
Oh yeah, so talk about that a little more, like the different types of alcohols, the different types of alcohol and how they affect that, like your cravings and things like that.
Yeah, so beer believe it or not, they said beer doesn't really. They've done some studies where beer doesn't really affect like your hunger too much. It doesn't make you too hungry, or like white wine, stuff like that. And like I just said, like red wine, a little bit more, but really it's like when you start consuming like the hard stuff that you start craving, these foods. And also think about it too, if you are drinking and this process of burning carbohydrates and burning fat and building muscle stops trying to get this alcohol. So you're eating all this. So what happens to that? You know what I mean? It just gets stored as glycogen. It's just a, because when you're hammered at 2 a.m. at a diner, you're like, hey.
I've had some fucking whiskey sours and smashing vodka Red Bulls all night. Go to Taco Bell, get a taco 12-pack and 4 chalupas.
Are you speaking from experience?
Definitely not. And 4 Mountain Dews.
Yeah, it's definitely
loaded.
Remember that time we were in Philadelphia and you ordered 12 double cheeseburgers, ate 3 of them, and fell asleep at a truck stop?
Hell yeah. Fucking don't regret it.
That's what we should. Hell yeah.
Hell yes.
I could drive home right now.
Asleep 5 seconds later. I wasn't drunk, though. We weren't drunk. It was late at night.
I was drunk.
Yeah, that's why I drove.
Late at night. It was like 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Let's go home.
I didn't drink. You were drunk, and I was going to drive home.
Right.
And I was like, dude, let me just stop, get some food. I'm going to get 20 double cheeseburgers. I could fucking drive 3 hours. And I stopped 20 minutes later to sleep.
At a truck stop.
And I only had 4 of those cheeseburgers. Threw the rest out. All right, sidebar.
Sorry.
So how about strength training, right? We kind of talked a little bit about like how it affects body comp and like your cravings and shit. How about strength training? How does alcohol really affect your strength training?
They gave a few examples there. They talked about athletes consuming it right after their competition and like it not being that big of like it doesn't affect them, like they're good to go 2 days later.
Yeah.
But they also did a study where they had people do, I think it was like a placebo effect of they were just drinking, people were just drinking whatever and the other people were drinking alcohol, and they tested them in muscle contractions like concentric, isometric, and eccentric. And the group that drank alcohol did like, I think it was like 20%, 15%, and 12% worse on those muscle contractions. I forget which ones exactly, but you could go to the article yourself. But yeah, so the drinking did affect the strength training. If you think about it, it regulates your hormones too, right? You need those hormones.
Yeah, so with like hormones, specifically like testosterone, how does it affect your testosterone?
There's like I have to actually look at that for that one. I have to look at the fucking thing. I don't remember. I gotta look. Okay.
Well, I think what the deal with testosterone after drinking is like what you need after lifting. You need that like inflammation, right? Like you need that.
Right.
Like, after
if
you
it
lift,
blocks,
you need that fucking inflammation. What happens is like booze blocks that shit.
Right.
So you don't get that like post-workout fatigue, I'm inflamed, so protein synthesis starts doing its thing, testosterone starts kicking in, that shit gets blocked.
Yeah.
So I think one of the biggest things is, as far as like, if you are going to drink during the week, I think one of the biggest things is like drink like after training, kind of like the anabolic window.
Yeah.
Like, the window of gains, whatever you want to call it, like, the best time to go crazy on a cheat meal is like, right after like a lift or right after a training session, go nuts with pizza, whatever. I think that they're kind of saying was same thing for alcohol, like
alcohol.
Like if you're coming into a training session after drinking, like boozed up the night before or like even a couple nights before, then, you're kind of going to be in trouble. Versus, if you want to have like maybe a drink or two, keep that shit for after you train, and it kind of have like that anabolic effect. Yeah,
and one of the things too in this article was like, yeah, there's like some negative effects, but he stayed like Jade straight up says like, all right, as long as you're not getting hammered every night, like you'll probably be okay. Like it's not gonna ruin all of your gains and stuff like that. Now, if you're competing for something or whatever, that's a whole different story. But he's just talking about for guys that work out, like it's not gonna. Unless you're getting hammered every night, it's really not going to have a big effect. And one thing to sidebar that I also want to talk about is that This is not from this article. This is another nutritionist who knows pretty well. His name's Jason Phillips. He's been on like Barbell Shrug. He did nutrition for Sarah Sigmund's daughter. Guy knows his stuff. And one of the things he was saying is that he prefers that if you do drink, it's more about like doing it all in one night versus doing it every night throughout the week. Just because, if you do it one time and you don't do it, your body gets a chance to process that and get it out. But if you have a drink every night, your body has to try to get rid of that shit every night. And it's not doing what it's supposed to do.
Which is a tough process.
Right, yeah, every night. Everyone that says, I just have like one drink every night and blah, blah, blah. It's like...
Well, yeah, I mean, think about it. It's like if you're training, working out, lifting, exercising, whatever, in any capacity, you're looking to elicit a response from your body hormonally. Right. I mean, you're looking for changes. You're looking for results, whatever. You're looking for changes to happen in your body. That happens hormonally, right? That happens through the processes in your body. So you're asking your body to do those processes, but now you're drinking and you're asking it to do a whole nother process of let's get these toxins out of our body. And it's like, I don't know, man, your body's not this fucking invincible machine. It can only pretty much do like one or maybe a couple things at once. And if it's doing that thing, it's not going to do the other thing as efficiently.
Right.
Right. The other thing that I thought was interesting too was kind of the choices of liquor. I just met her.
I knew it.
So I think one of the big things now is like, oh, red wine, red wine's healthy. Now people are like drinking fucking 10 glasses of red wine, and it's like, oh, because it's healthy, right? Actually, what they've found in these studies is if you're going to go with the type of alcohol, go with beer or white wine because they have a better effect on your appetite than red wine does.
Yeah.
Right. So red wine's going to affect your appetite different, like what you were talking about before. It's going to affect your appetite differently than beer, and white wine will affect your appetite differently than red wine will.
Beer, I mean, if everyone's ever had a beer, it's way more filling than like, vodka or tequila or anything like that. I personally hate beer. But it's just my take. I hate it. But yeah, I think that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it goes into that whole bin of some sort of study was done somewhere, and I don't think anyone really knows the true facts. But someone said like, "All right, red wine's healthy," and everyone was like, "Cool." Now it's like, "Oh, a glass of red wine a day keeps the doctor away." Antioxidants and this and that. And it's like, bro, that shit's alcohol. Right, it's a toxin to your body.
It's got preservatives in it. It's got other shit in it.
It's a toxin to your body, and like we were saying before, your body has to go through a whole nother process to get that toxin out. So if you're training and lifting, like we said before, if you're training, lifting hard, and you're looking to get the response from your body from that lifting, it's waiting in line from that response that you're giving it from alcohol.
Absolutely.
Alcohol.
Yeah, I got hammered last week in Philly, paying for it.
Not good.
Not good.
So, talking a little more about like alcohol and like strength training specifically, what like we kind of talked about hormonally, what about like are there like neurological effects? Like what are the effects on like the brain as far as your training?
Obviously alcohol fucks you up a little bit, but I mean like I said, the body, this is gonna sound so corny, but like the body is just it's one unit, right? Everything's working together.
It's deep.
But when you throw like alcohol in there, all the everything, so much shit just shuts down so that you can, get this out of your body. All the processes, all the cell turnover, all that stuff just stops to get it out of your body. That's one of the things. Also, it affects acetylcholine, acetyl-CoA. I believe it kind of deadens the neurotransmitters and stuff like that. So that's not good. It's not good.
Yeah.
Your life up. I'm kidding.
I think you just gotta ask yourself, like what are you really trying to get out of whatever your strength training is, fitness is, exercise is, what are you trying to get out of it? And is adding alcohol in like helping that? Is it helping you? Right? Is it helping you in any way? Is like, maybe 2 to 3 drinks a week helping you? This is not like, that's not a rhetorical question. It might, you might be able to sit down and say, yeah, okay, 2 to 3 drinks a week. Yeah, that actually helps me, kind of helps me unwind a little bit, helps me get my mind off things. Right, I get that. But also, sit down and ask yourself, is 2 drinks a night helping me? You know, like, is
Right.
that helping you? I don't know. Like,
Oh,
may seem like it is. Like, oh, I need to get home and have my 2 glasses of wine or have my 2 glasses of whiskey. You know, we're not here to, like, get into the, you know, like dealing with alcoholism or anything like that. That's not our thing. But we're just talking from a physiological standpoint. Is 2 glasses of wine a night helping your body
yeah.
or even your brain?
And also, you know, the calories too. Like obviously, like there's the, you know, the if it's your macros, calories in, calories out, and alcohol is, I believe, 7 calories per gram, right? So as opposed to protein and carbs are 4, fat's 9, but it's still calories. But not only is it calories, it's calories that your body has to process and get out of your body before it processes anything else.
Get out of me, body.
I just date a guy named Body.
Nice.
I'm losing my mind.
One of the last things I thought
So
was
tired.
interesting too, if you could touch on a little bit more, was that if you like specifically with your meals, I guess this would go back to now like body composition stuff. Like with your meals, if you are having alcohol with a meal, with that meal, avoid having also carbs and fats and focus on having more protein and veggies. So like
Yeah.
if you're like, all right, I'm going to have a drink with this meal, make that meal be like protein and veggies, not carb and fat heavy. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Right. Well, think about even in just like general nutrition, like one of the things that John Berardi's talked about this, precision nutrition, basically like
Heard of him?
he's pretty good. Consuming like fats and carbs together, that's like the ultimate, it's like hyper palatable. So think of like fats and carbs, like pizza, you know what I mean? Things like that. Like everything that tastes good has fats and carbs together in it. Usually, like it's just it's synonymous with it, and when you eat that, you want to eat more of it. It just that's how, you know. That's why food scientists have a job. They get this down to a goddamn science the way you can't resist to not eat it. So yeah, I would say, and you do this pretty well too with even like with when we go to like a buffet or like a brunch, you always get like a protein and veggie stuff first.
Oh, dude, the last brunch
You have
we
a
went
good
to.
you have oh my god.
Yo,
But Steve has a good system down
dude.
to where he like plans it out.
Buffets are my fucking favorite. Dude, 'cause I could just I get 3 plates. One plate is all green, all veggies.
Yep.
One plate is usually all fruits, and then I got that fucking meat plate, baby.
The meat
Load
plate.
up on the meat plate, and then that 4th plate is like a alternate, like maybe if I want to get like a bagel or donuts. You know what I mean? And it's not a restricting thing. That's the last thing I go to personally.
Also, protein. I mean, protein is the most satiating out of the macronutrients. So
I can tell you what, my meat plate was bacon and a couple slices of prime rib, and after that meat plate, I eat a lot. After that meat plate, I was like,
I'm good.
I'm feeling pretty full right now, which is not a common occurrence with me.
Yeah. So if you're gonna eat something, protein and veggies over carbs with fats. You know, like that's the carbs and fats together are just made to taste amazing. I mean, think about it. Think about everything, every junk food you love. It's carbs and fats together.
You booze, you lose. We're going to sign it off there. Anything else about alcohol?
I feel like you were holding that in.
I was for a couple minutes. I want to just like end it on that.
No, I don't have anything else.
All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to wrap it up with some segments. And yeah, we'll see you in a couple minutes.
Bye.
Be right back. Want more of the Strength Squad? You can check out all of our social media on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
Also, check us out on YouTube where you can watch all of your favorite Strength Squad videos. Don't forget to leave a 5-star review on iTunes and Stitcher.
Stitcher, I just met her. We would like to thank our friends at Plant Warrior Protein, official sponsor of the Strength Squad podcast. Plant Warrior plant-based protein is easier on your stomach and contains a complete amino acid profile that helps you grow, maintain, and repair your muscles. It gives you 18 grams of protein per serving, and it's made from a blend of rice, pea, and hemp. Plant Warrior pledges to plant 1 tree for every item you purchase at their online store. Head over to plantwarrior.co, that's plantwarrior.co, and use the promo code STRENGTH10 to get 10% off of your purchase. That's promo code STRENGTH10 for 10% off of any Plant Warrior purchase.
Guy's got a pair of honeydews on him.
All right, everybody. We are back. Before we wrap up here, we're going to do a segment called Gold, Silver, Bronze. And it's going to be each of our top 3 times that we were super intoxicated or drunk. In our spirit of talking about alcohol today, we're going to talk about some of our favorite drunk moments in history.
Idiots.
So I'll start. My bronze medal, my third place, goes to the time I was like 22, maybe 21, probably 22 though, maybe 21, probably 22. Though.
Okay. Okay.
Went out one night for I think it was like someone's birthday, and this was the night that just ruined screwdrivers for me. Vodka and orange juice.
Was I there?
Because I discovered them. I was like, oh my god, vodka and orange juice, screwdriver, this is the greatest drink ever. And so I just went all out with it. We went out, and it was just like, it was one of those nights where, like, right when we got there, I was just slugging too hard. And so midway through the night, I was like, okay, I was okay. And then things started to get fuzzy, and then, don't remember much after a certain point. Like, the last thing I remember was we were trying to get into a club that didn't allow sneakers. They only allowed nice shoes. And so they had a little outdoor patio part. So I'm standing in line getting rejected by the bouncer because I had sneakers on. Not like shitty sneakers, but I had like sneakers on.
Right.
And so I'm sitting out there, not an idea what to do, drunk out of my mind. And one of my friends is standing out in the bar area that's outside right next to the line in front. And he's like, yo, dude, come here. I'll switch shoes with you so you get in. I don't fucking remember who it was, but it was so nice. So we're out there. I'm like taking my shoes off, switching shoes with this dude right outside in front of everyone. Get the shoes on, get inside. And then that's literally the last thing I remember.
Did you give him his shoes back?
I don't remember. The next thing I remember is like getting carried by two of my friends through the train station and just begging one of my friends to just leave me there to die because I was convinced that that's what was happening. I was like, dude, just leave me here. I'm gonna die. Just leave me here.
Who was carrying you? Do you remember?
Dustin and Katie.
Okay.
And then the other thing I remember is my friend Katie. We're sitting on the train, and she took a plastic grocery bag, and hooked it around my ears. So I had like a little hook on, throw a bag around my ears. It was so fucking ridiculous. And then I just remember someone getting me into my bed and then just waking up the next morning. That's all I really remember. And then my parents being like, we're really worried about you. That was like too dangerous. It's like, shut the fuck up. I'm a G, motherfucker.
Yeah.
I survived that shit.
Fuck.
So that's my bronze medal, my third place.
You.
My second place, silver medal, goes to a couple years ago when we actually went with our trainer friends to Vermont.
Oh my god!
Got a little cabin, same deal. We were there for about 15 minutes, and I slugged way too hard. And everyone else was kind of buzzed and feeling good, and I was like way too hammered. Here's painting a picture of what was going on. I was wearing a shirt, a sailor's hat, and no pants. Shirt, sailor's hat, no pants.
Captain's hat.
Captain's hat, no pants. And what I had done is, one of the only things I remember is flipping a stool over and naked with my body just like sitting on the stool. Like being an idiot.
The pointed side. The pointed side. Yeah, flipping it over.
Just flip the stool.
Not the seat. The legs. The pegs on the bottom. He sat on one of them.
Yeah. And then the next day.
There's a photo of you with like a box of Triscuits you on the toilet or like with your head in the toilet.
Oh, yeah.
Wearing the captain's hat.
Yeah, I don't remember much after that. But I remember the next day waking up, and it was like the whole, next day, like after being sick and drunk, like saltines and water. And I ate the entire box of saltines. Not the sleeve. I ate both sleeves, the entire fucking box.
Everyone was so blown away.
It was like, where are the rest of those saltines? I was like, ate both sleeves. It's like a Costco box of fucking saltines. So that's my second place silver medal. And then my gold medal goes to this last year. I went to a music festival, weekend music festival. I think it was New Hampshire. So all these like Northeast states really got me. We did a whole bunch of drugs. Not going to go into detail about which ones, but we did a whole bunch of drugs. And one drug we did, you weren't supposed to do as much as I did. And I just like completely dissociated from my body. And like it was like something you'd see in a movie of someone tripping really hard. Like it was a bad trip. And I just like, I left this dimension. I went to a different dimension. Time didn't exist. I couldn't feel my body. Like I thought my friends were all trying to murder me. I thought my friends, what they were trying to do, they were like, hey man, come and like put your feet in the water we were by the beach. They're like, come put your feet in the water, make you feel better. But what I saw was, hey Steve, follow us into this abyss. And I thought my friends were trying to lead me to my death and murder me. So that's my gold medal. That is my gold medal.
I don't even know what to say.
Pretty solid podium there.
Jesus.
That's my gold, silver, bronze. How about you? What's your gold, silver, bronze?
We're going to go bronze. Is one of the first times I ever... Oh, now I'm torn. I just had another story pop in my head. So, one of the first times I ever drank, it was on a golf course, not playing golf. I was in 8th grade. It was met up with like some high school, peoples there. Some of my friends' older brothers were drinking beer or whatever.
We started drinking beer.
We started drinking beer. We're hammered. 4 of us. We're like 14. We're walking in. I lived in New York at the time, so you could actually walk places. So, walked to McDonald's. We all just started like hammering food. One of my buddies was like laying down in the bench. He was not doing well, which I'll come back to at this story. So anyway, I make it home. I'm home alone. And I'm like, oh, thank God. Like, we were way too hammered. Like, I was so nervous we were going to get caught. Like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Home alone, mind you. My dad's somewhere. Phone rings. It's my friend's dad who's too hammered. He's like, it's quiet. I go, hello? He goes, so how much did you have to drink? Like a deep dad voice. And I was like,
oh, fuck.
Oh, my God. I didn't freak out. I was just like, nothing. I don't have anything. They're like, Jared's not doing so well. He came home and started throwing up and hugging his mom repeatedly. And I was like, oh, my God.
Nice, Jared.
I remember we all got in trouble because of his stupid ass. Everyone found out. Everyone's parents found out. Such bull. God damn it. Makes me so mad. Anyway, then, so that's bronze, I guess. That would be bronze. And then I remember
Silver.
Man, yeah, silver. This is going to
Second
be
place, silver.
So I'm torn on this one. I have another one. I'll go with this one. 8th grade again. So 8th grade, yeah.
Had a busy 8th grade year.
I did everything very early, then I stopped. So 8th grade. So later that year, I found out I'm moving to Connecticut. Holy hell. So we had a going away party for me. Okay.
I like it.
So, hey, we're going to go to my boy's house. We're going to chill. His older siblings are going to be there. Parents are gone. We're just going to get after it, right? Shots of tequila. Okay. We're doing shots of tequila. Now, I've never done it before in my life. Like, no, it'll be cool. It'll be fine. Okay, sure. I just went out to like an Italian dinner with my grandma and I got there. So I was a little full. So ripping shots of tequila with limes. I'm like, this isn't so bad. I'm at like 4, 5.
Shots?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
6.
Not in 8th grade, boy.
Yeah. Sitting down
What
the whole
the
time and I
fuck?
go, dude, I don't fucking feel anything.
Oh, boy.
Let me get one more. Do one more. 15 minutes later, I stood up. Thought my life was gonna end. Threw up, I'll never forget. Calamari and red sauce all over my friend's bathroom floor. Like just the white tile.
It's so disgusting.
Don't remember anything. Was like crawling around the house. We all were. Everyone was dead. Everyone was dead except the older siblings. Like had to take care of us. Passed out. Didn't know what was happening. Woke up with completely new clothes on.
Attaboy.
And I was like, who changed my pants? Like,
Jesus.
what the hell? And the next day I had to go to like a farewell lunch with my grandma and I just couldn't. She's like, why aren't you hungry? It was like clams or some shit.
Because your boy likes to drink.
I thought I was going to fucking die.
Damn.
So that was silver. I love those two are from 8th grade. And then number 1.
The gold.
Man.
Let's hear that gold.
So I this is gold for not because of how drunk I was, but because of the situation and how funny this is. So it was 10th grade. In 10th grade, we did sophomore year of high school. We do, in our town anyway, where Steve and I are from, 10th grade, we do ring dance. So you get your class rings. I remember this was like a big deal. I asked a girl to come with me, and she was my date who was way out of my league at the time. I was super attracted to her. And she was nope. It was not her. Her name will not be said. So she asked, I asked her to go with me and I was like nervous as fuck. Like just so nervous. So nervous to the point that I'm a fat sophomore. Like she wanted nothing to do with me and I understood that. And I was just like, okay, like insecure 15-year-old. I was like, yep, I'm not gonna touch you. I'm not gonna. So I'll never forget we're going. And I was polite the whole night. be honest, I'm a very good dancer. Had a lot of fun.
Hey.
She had fun. It was good. And we're walking up. This is my best friend who's been on the show. Anthony was having the after party at his mom's house. So we're walking up to the party like out of a movie in high school. Just walking up to this party. Groups of people. You know, I'm getting amped. Like, I'm like, this is going to be so much fun. And I go to her walking up and I put like my arm, like not around her in this way, like just like this. I'm like, yo, this is going to be so much fun. I'm so excited. And she was like, don't get your hopes up. Like, I don't know what you think's going to happen. I was like, no, like, sorry. Like I felt like I was just like, Jesus, dude. I was like, fuck this. I just got hammered. Ended up hooking up with her best friend in the woods that night.
Hey.
Got my first in the woods that night. And
Had a fucking boy.
it was an epic night. And I remember a lot of my friends getting way drunker and like we were fucking with them. That was so much fun.
That's
Oh
the
my
old
God.
Monroe switcheroo right there. Not to be confused with the old Monroe shuffle.
And redemption story.
Mm.
Actually, I'm not going to tell that part.
Okay.
I decided against it. But yeah, sophomore year, that was probably number one. That was fun.
Word.
Ring dance was dope, dude.
Nailed it. All right, guys. Those are our gold, silver, bronze of our top 3 times we've ever been completely hammered.
Go Team USA.
Go USA. So that's going to wrap it up for today, guys. Thanks for joining. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. As always, we appreciate everything, man. All your likes, your comments, all your feedback. And we just appreciate you guys loving the show. Be in contact with us, man. Let us know what you guys like, what you don't like. We love to hear from fans of the show and just people who want to learn more. And as always, go to all of our social media, Strength Squad Podcast. Give us likes, give us follows. Check us out there. We got some great content. Go check out our YouTube. Got some good stuff there. Go to our iTunes and Stitcher. That's where all the shows are. Go check it out. And then one last shout out to our new official sponsor, Plant Warrior Protein. Go check them out. Use the promo code STRENGTH10 to get 10% off some plant protein. They got some good stuff. Every time they sell a bag of protein, they plant a tree. So that's pretty fucking dope. So go check them out.
Love it.
Thanks, Plant Protein. Plant Warrior Protein. We love you.
And plant protein itself.
All right, guys. Deuces.
Bye.
See you next episode.